All right, so let's take a closer look now at some of Apple's challenges. Technology expert Shelly Palmer joining us now from New York. Shelly, good to see you. First of all, how impressed or not are you about the new iPhones?
I was blown away. I actually thought that the iPhone 11 Pro Max, the new one, the top of the line, was about as much technology as you can pack into 6.5 inches. I've seen a lot of my colleagues Apple bashing all day for fun, and you know, Apple bashing is fun, but the 3 cameras is a big deal. The technology inside is a big deal. It is iterative. It's not innovative to a lot of people unless you happen to shoot photographs and or videos, in which case this is really a game-changing technology. For anyone who's ever been to film school, there are 3 prime lenses in the world: wide, ultra-wide, and telephoto. They're now on the phone. You can use both the front and rear-facing cameras at the same time. So if you're shooting an interview or you're shooting a performance with an audience, you've got one camera and 4 shots to select from. There's some incredible stuff that went down today. One of the things Apple did, I thought, that was extraordinary was they actually were very price sensitive today. They told us that the XR was the best-selling iPhone of all time, and that in fact it was the best-selling smartphone of all time. And they kept that price at $599. They also brought in an iPad at $329 today, actually. So they know that they have a price problem, and I think these prices were lower than anyone expected them to be.
All right, but let's talk about this innovative problem that critics are, harping on right now. I mean, yes, you talk about the game-changing technology, and as someone who, I guess, is starting to take more selfies, it's nice to know that there's a better resolution. And regarding the camera, by the way, so if I'm shooting video in selfie mode, I would be able to turn the camera around, and also on that same recording, I could show the other side of the camera.
There's a whole bunch of, this camera has more video capability than any camera ever made. But again, there's 2 kinds of innovation people talk about. One is game-changing, crazy, oh wow, this is amazing, I can't believe what I'm seeing. And the other is this iteration that gives you more capabilities of things that you know you now need. So I think Apple's paying a lot of attention to that. Look, overarchingly, Androids internationally are the biggest selling phones, and because they are just lower priced and there are more of them. Apple is a fashion accessory. They know that. They know who they sell to. They're going to sell as many iPhones to people who use them as fashion accessories as they ever do, so I'm not worried about that.
But isn't it time, I'm sorry to cut you off there, Shelly, but isn't it time for Apple to do something, radically different?
Yes.
Or something much more innovative to at least bring in more consumers? I mean, look at Samsung. They took a lot of risk, and, they fell on their face, with the Samsung foldable phone, where there was, so many issues with it, but they're back with a new version. I mean, that is innovative. The iPhones look the same year after year after year. And yes, it seems like there's just a few little tweaks in technology.
No questions asked. Handsets are basically over. What is any handset going to be? And look, with all deference to Samsung's Galaxy Fold, which is an incredibly awesome device, we're going to see it brought out in a little while, and I'm excited to see the new version of it, the fixed, upgraded version. But look, what is it going to be? Slightly better battery life, slightly better processor, a little better screen. Like, that's all you can do with a handset. What is it time for? It's time for eyeglasses with heads-up display. It's time for some kind of implants. It's time for a cuff, a Darth Vader helmet. I don't know what it's time for, but handsets are done. So all you're going to see from handsets are slight improvements. And where Apple's done a good job, I think, is with the camera. And by the way, don't count Samsung out. They've done an incredible job with their camera, right? So the Note 10 is an amazing phone, and the Pro Max iPhone is also, the 11 Pro Max is an incredible phone too. They're also somewhere between $1,200 and $1,500, depending on how you buy them. So it's for only one part of the market. The other part of the market is where we talked about earlier, these are price sensitive, and Android owns that market, and they're going to continue to.
We'll have to leave it there, Shelly Palmer. Appreciate you joining us. I do have to say I'm an Apple iPhone user, and I haven't been that impressed with each new generation. I'm just too lazy to switch over to an Android because I don't want to learn something new, and I think maybe a lot of customers feel that way. Appreciate you joining us, Shelly Palmer. Thank you for that.